As parents, we have a responsibility to our children. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that every single person is gonna be asked about their amana. What's an amana? An amana is a trust. So if I were to entrust you with some money, for example, then you would be responsible for that, taking care of that money, right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us a trust. Allah in fact has given us many trusts. And one of the most precious of them is our children. Allah will ask us what we did to give our children their right of an Islamic education. It's not just something optional. It's something that is fard. It is obligatory upon us to give that to our children. And if we don't, if we fall short for whatever reason, for whatever illusions we are chasing, we will be asked by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We will be asked why we did not give them that education and that environment that was their right. It's a right upon us, right? That it is actually an obligation rather upon us, and it is their right. Many of us are under the impression that because there's some sort of so-called separation between church and state, no, my children, they're not being taught about Jesus at school. They're being taught something more dangerous. When you take a certain medicine, right? When you first take the medicine, there's like this dose that will work, right? But then over time, what happens to your body? It becomes desensitized essentially to that dose, right? So now as you have to take a certain medicine chronically, you will have to take a higher dose for it to have the same effect. Yes? You know this, right? It's how it works with drugs, it's how it works with medicine. It's the same thing psychologically. So what happens is when you become exposed to something a lot, your heart starts to become desensitized. In other words, you become numb. You're putting your children in this environment. How can you think you're not going to be asked? That you didn't do your utmost best to give them the best environment, to give them their best opportunity, and to protect them the most you can. I understand you can't protect your children from everything. I get that. Only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can protect them. But wallahi, you're going to be asked about what you did. You're going